listening to Retro Rewind with Dave Harris. One-on-one.
Retro Rewind.
I guess you were asked to provide a track for President Obama.
Of this soundtrack, yes, we can, and of course, how many opportunities do you get to be a part of that kind of history? The answer is yes. And even if I didn't have a song, I was going to find a song instantly for that. But it was a wonderful opportunity. I've been very lucky in my life. There are a couple of times when you can write a song that's bigger than a tune. We Are the World was a when you go through and have 45 artists come behind just the intro, that's all you can have to come by the intro, because the intro was too big. You can't come in there or say you, say me, or you can't do it. Or end us a lot. Very lucky. But when you have things like that are history making, what a great opportunity. And of course, the lyrics actually almost just kind of jumped out for themselves. There's a time in life when you just kind of let your brain turn it off and just write what's coming out. And don't think about it, just write it. And that's exactly what happened. And then, of course, when I asked the question, would it be all right if I use a couple of his great lines from his speeches on the record? They said, absolutely. You mean I can use the President of the United States voice on the record? Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Remember, they came to you.
I know, but it's just still, it's one of those situations where you have to kind of laugh. And, how many opportunities do you get in that lifetime?
But see, you have to think about this. He is president, and it's cool, and you're probably like, wow, the president. But he's probably like, wow, it's Lionel Richie.
Well, it's a mutual admiration society. Trust me, I understand that. But at the same time, I think I'm marveling more, not in terms of us as men or as of the event. I'm more marveling in the fact of the times. I couldn't have been born at a better time, because I got a front row seat at the Civil Rights Movement. I wasn't in it, I was too young, but man, I had a front row seat. I had a front row seat of Vietnam. I wasn't in Vietnam, but I had a front row seat of it. And here I am again. Here's the front row seat. I was there when Mandela got out of prison, and I was there the first time he came back, and I bought his first 5 suits, and I was there, and here we are again with Obama. I mean, this is the best seat in the house without popcorn. I don't need popcorn. This is amazing what's happening, and to be able to be a part of it, to be able to put a signature on it. I was the kid that always, every time there was any kind of wet cement in town, you can guarantee that that's my handprint or my footprint. Yeah. And I wanted to leave something behind. Yeah. And of course, it's just been wonderful to be a part of all of these historical things.
Is this going to be a single, or just something just happens to be on the album?
It's a single right now. It's a single, but what it's doing is it's just probably up until the inauguration. It's just trying to launch it to be in, so that it'll be familiar as the theme song for that inauguration. I'm quite sure it'll be a part of history forever, but and so what's happening right now is, and I laugh at this with my record company, because we were putting out the Commodore song, and we were in the studio from 6 at night to 12 in the morning, 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning, doing the Commodore song. And I didn't tell the Commodores, but from 1 to 4, I was doing Endless Love with Diana Ross. So what happens, how do you put the same time in the same song? Well, this is disastrous, but at the same time, there's history on both hands, and I try to explain to my record company, it's the same guy. Lionel Richie is the same guy. Well, in this case, there's history to be made both ways. But how about this? How ironic that the first single is called Good Morning, which is exactly the uplifting part of the reality that we live in. I've written songs called Hello, Truly, and, name it, All Night Long. I didn't have a song called Good Morning, which everyone is going to say forever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, at the same time that I'm doing one song, which is basically through the holidays, and it basically is about Obama, this one is the first single from the album. And it has exactly the life that I want to have in it, because this is that phrase that good morning, it comes out as that phrase as common as ever.
Absolutely, and that's probably something you want to maybe have associated with you, because I've heard you in interviews telling us that as soon as you say the word hello, is it me you're looking for? And that could be the same with this album.
Well, funny, I said before I even gave the guys a chance to go out and write it, let's go to dinner or let's go to lunch. And I explained just the philosophy, because what they want to know is, how did you do it?
Right.
What do you do? Right. And once you plug them into the philosophy, they go, oh, got it. Okay. So all of a sudden they came out with this thing. Okay, just go. Okay, just go. Okay, now we got just go. And what is this? Good morning. Good morning. And they understand the philosophy that these are common phrases that people say every day. We're off to the races.
Absolutely. And in fact, for them to, probably learn from you, you were talking about some of the things that you learned maybe from Smokey Robinson as a writer, and these are artists that are having lots of success right now. I guess history will, it remains to be seen if they'll last the test of time like you have. Let's hope they do, obviously.
I've got my fingers crossed, considering my voice is on a couple of them, but what's so funny about that? There's one test that Motown had that was the toughest test ever to pass. And I think about it now, if you go back and apply it to radio, Mr. Gordy would have you come in and you say, I got the greatest record ever. And he says, yeah. He says, I said, let me play it for you. No, don't play anything. Hum it to me. Oh, wow. Okay? Now, if you can hum it from beginning to end, you have a hit song. If you got to wait till some other things happen and then you get back to it, you got a nice record.
And that's deep, because, that's just really, he needs...
I tried to explain that to the guys, and they were going, I don't know whether we can do that, man. I said, it's okay, I'll fill in the blanks.
Yeah. So, you probably, you obviously, I'm sure, produced this record, right, with these guys? David Foster.
No, excuse me now. The Eternity record is David Foster and myself. Okay, and believe it or not, the Just Go album, I gave them everything. I'm telling you, and when I tell you it's a leap of faith,
you're not kidding, because I'm just astounded knowing your career and your accomplishments and the things that you've done. That is just Lionel Richie to give someone the keys to his.
Here's the car. I'm going to sit in the back seat and enjoy the ride. I'm not even going to be in the front seat to tell you where I want you to go. And the answer to that is, you learn. So remember now, let's start. How did I learn how to be a producer? I sat in the studio with Marvin. I sat in the studio. I wasn't a producer yet. I wasn't a writer yet. I just sat in the studio, and they let me sit in the studio, and I just watched. And there's Quincy Jones, and I watched again. And there's a Holland Dozier Holland, and I watched again. You okay? Well, then there's a certain part in your career where, okay, it might change a little bit. Now, instead of dictating, I might just need to sit back in the back seat for a minute and watch again. It might be important to see, okay. And you might learn a little bit more about yourself, because, when I came along, you did everything on the piano. Yeah. Now you got 99 different things. This still boils down to one thing. You got a melody? Right. Because if you don't have a melody, all the rest of it doesn't matter. But it's just more stuff to confuse you, but yet it makes it easy to record if you just use the simple things.
You're listening to Retro Rewind with Dave Harris.
Retro Rewind.